Hello, welcome to Stephen King Reviews number 17, Needful Things. This was the 17th book of Stephen King's that I read, and despite being very chunky, as you can see, it's one I thoroughly enjoyed start to finish. And, interesting fact, it's actually the first one that he wrote completely sober. As you could see, quite a contrast of difference in itself to the last one, where he was overindulging on substance use. Needful Things, the last Castle Rock story. With a demonic blend of malice and affection, Stephen King says goodbye to the town he put on the map, Castle Rock, Maine, where Polly Chalmers runs You So and So, and Sheriff Alan Pangborn is in charge of keeping the peace. Excuse me. It's a small town, and Stephen King fans might think they know its secrets pretty well. They've been here before. Leland Gaunt is a stranger, and he calls his shop Needful Things. 11-year-old Brian Rusk is his first customer, and Brian finds just what he wants most in all the world, a 56 Sandy Koufax baseball car. By the end of the week, Mr. Gaunt's business is fairly booming, and why not? At Needful Things, there's something for everyone. And of course, there is always a price. For Leland Gaunt, the pleasure of doing business lies chiefly in seeing how much people will pay for their most secret dreams and desires. And as Leland Gaunt always points out, at Needful Things, the prices are high indeed. Does that stop people from buying? Has it ever? For Alan and Polly, this one week in autumn will be an awful test. A test of will, desire, and pain. Above all, it will be a test of their ability to grasp the true nature of their enemy. They may have a chance, but maybe not, because as Mr. Gaunt knows, almost everything is for sale. Love, hope, even the human soul. With the potent storytelling authority that millions of readers have come to prize, Stephen King delivers an Our Town with a vengeance, an inimitable farewell to a place his fiction has often and long called home. Castle Rock, Maine has been the setting for several of Stephen King's most famous works, including The Dead Zone, Cujo, The Dark Half, and two novellas, The Body, which was made into the movie Stand By Me, and The Sundog. It says here, the Tommyknockers, but that's not accurate. That takes place in Haven, different place. So that's why I didn't read that part. But yeah, whoever wrote that jacket made that mistake there because technically the Tommyknockers takes place in Haven, which might be near Castle Rock. Doesn't really ever specify, but different town. So that's actually inaccurate. Just clarifying. So, for horror factor, I gave it 7 out of 10. While not the scariest book he's written, Leland Gaunt is charming, yet also quite terrifying. For story quality, I gave it 10 out of 10 because it's clear, concise, and it shows King's full capabilities as a literary genius. For suspense intensity, I gave it 10 out of 10 as well, because it's a non-stop, crazy, exciting thrill ride start to finish, and ends in a batshit crazy way. Really. If you actually read the ending, you'll get the literal pun of what I'm saying, too. Um, for main characters, I give it 10 out of 10 because a lot of classic characters return. Some of our favorites from the Stephen King works that were mentioned. And it references many of the other Castle Rock stories as well, even if the characters are not included in it, which makes it quite great. So 10 out of 10 for that, that's why. And the overall rating with 7 out of 10 for horror factor, 10 out of 10 for story quality, 10 out of 10 for suspense intensity, and 10 out of 10 for memorable characters equals 37 out of 40. For as amazing of a book as this is, I think it's criminally underrated. A lot of people kind of overlooked it at the time, and a lot of people who go back and expect it to be scary or terrifying usually are disappointed. But as one of the other reviewers of Stephen King work said, it's best to look at it as a really dark comedy. And if you do, it's quite an enjoyable story. For my final thoughts, I would say that I love the references to the Dead Zone, Stand By Me, The Sundog, Cujo, and The Dark Half. Being such a lengthy book, the movie is a good attempt. However, I think a miniseries would have done it more justice as far as an adaptation because there's so much that they just couldn't fit into the movie, and some of the things they changed and cut could have made great potential for a story. So, especially the adventures with Ace Merrill that they left out of the movie. Oh my God, that could have been its own miniseries where he's going on this crazy, wild cocaine binge treasure hunt, which you can tell he was still probably struggling with the after effects of quitting his addictions when he was writing this, even though he was sober. He was very in tune to that lifestyle, which I feel like he's projecting a lot of that onto Ace Merrill's character, which is quite entertaining, and definitely one I can recommend to anybody. So, as usual, please like, share, subscribe, and check out all the other videos. I do appreciate any support that we get on this channel because it helps for me to continue to create more content. So, until next time, it's your host, Super Comic Guru Alucard. Peace out. Till next time, take care. Matane.